Hi everyone, so just here's a quick little recap about the answers for Unit 5, Lesson 7. So the answer key has been posted, so if you want to just check your answers and come back to the video for an explanation of any that you might have gotten wrong, you can do that. But let's just jump in so I can explain each of these. So for question 1 on that homework, okay, which of the following points is a solution to this system of inequalities? Same as the system of equations, the solution has to be true in both of your inequalities. So if you take answer choice 2 and substitute it in, such as a check for both inequalities, they become true statements. So since it was true for both of those, that was the correct answer. For question number 2, they had given us a graphed system of inequalities, and what I have here are the 4 points that were the 4 choices over here on the side. Okay, you might have thought maybe that this value here, 1, 5, could have been the solution, but this is a dotted line. So even though it appears it might be on that line, that's not okay. If I had some of these as points over here, that would have been part of a solution set because it's on the solid line, but nothing on the dotted line. Also, nothing that is only in one of the shaded sections. Okay, it must be something that is in the intersection of the shadings, such as choice 4. Okay, question number 3 was a multi-part question. A asked you if 0, 0 was in this solution set for the system of inequalities. That is very similar to question number 1 that we just went over. You substitute it into both equations and it's true. So yes, 0, 0 is part of the solution set. For part B, if you graphed it and did your shading, you also would have noticed that the origin, okay, ended up being in the double shaded area. So that's good. So you can just see I gave 2 samples of items that were one in the solution set, one not. A lot of these answers are going to vary. So these are just sample answers. You might have had something different. That does not mean that you are wrong. Okay, if we look at question number 4, okay, it says sketch the solution to this system. Okay, because there are so many different answers to this, that's why the sketch is just going to include a shaded region as an answer. So for this one, x equals 2 is this line, but because it was less than or equal to over here, it is solid and shaded to the left. Y plus 2x less than 6 would be in y mx plus b form if we subtracted the 2x to the other side. So we used a slope of -2 with a y-intercept of 6, but it was dotted because it did not have the or equal to. It also was less than, just like our last one, so it also shaded towards the left-hand side of things. So what we end up getting is this intersection. 0, 0 is a sample answer, but you could have picked any of these points, anything in the double shaded region. So again, that's just a sample answer. You might have had something different and could be correct. All right, so we've talked about the shading of things in a couple of the questions already. So I'm not really going to go into that here. This is what the graph should have looked like with the correct shading. This extra dark part is what all 3 overlapped areas were, and they formed a little triangular section. Okay, you're kind of expected to know that area is half base times height, so you should have known that formula. But what's nice about this is because one of the lines was vertical and the other line was horizontal, the base and the height, the length and the width, if you will, were countable. You can just count the grid lines. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for our height, and if you count, it's also 9 for our base length. So that's why you see 9 times 9 divided by 2, or 81 divided by 2 would be 40.5, or 40.5 units squared. All right, and then number 6, kind of a trick question. If you graphed this system, okay, it actually does not have a solution because the shadings diverge. They go away from each other. Okay, as opposed to if I had flipped these inequality signs, everything in the white unshaded part actually would have been where the double shading was. So you might have situations like this, and it's kind of similar to when we had systems on a number line that might have gone 2 different directions. This could be described with an or, but that couldn't be described with an and because they don't ever come together. Right, so I know that was a quick recap, but just in case you had a little question on any of these homework problems, instead of just checking over the key yourself, I thought a small explanation might help.